What's going on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter platforms? Outside Podcast is back. We are ready to give you guys another show tonight on the Outside Podcast right here on the Aboriginal Sports Network. Thank you guys for tuning in. You know how we do the show, man. Y'all come in, enjoy some of these funky beats, and we'll be right back, man. Y'all get in here, hit that like button, share it, do whatever you need to do, man, for the Outside Podcast. We got some stuff for you tonight. You know, we're going to give you the NBA rundown. We're going to talk about some other things going on in sports. You never know what we're going to talk about on this show here, but it's going to be all sports. It's going to be up-to-date news. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we're going to be right back after y'all enjoy yourselves. Get you some popcorn, get you some food, get you something to drink, man. Chill out, relax, do what you need to do. This is the Outside Podcast, man. Let's get it. Outside Podcast. Get ready to start here soon. In the next 30 to 40 seconds, man. The Outside Podcast will be starting soon. We'll get ready for the NBA rundown. Man, can't wait to do this show for you guys. Outside Podcast is back. Took a little bit of a break, but it's the off season, man. We got to get to work, man. We got to put it in work for you guys, man. So kick back to the funky beats, sit back and enjoy, and get ready to enjoy this podcast with your boys. Big Pat Sports Talk and Unpopular Opinion Sports, aka NYG22. Rocking the Brooklyn Nets here tonight, man. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's go. Hopefully y'all boogied on down, and the Outside Podcast will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Outside Podcast. Man, this is the NBA rundown.
Yeah.
NBA action was on tonight. And we gonna start with the first game with the Thunder versus the Timberwolves. This is a good game, man. Two powerhouses over in the West. The Thunder doing their thing at 45-10, and the Timberwolves at 31-26. Thought they would be doing a little bit better, but the Timberwolves with a 40-point second quarter takes a 2-point lead over the Thunder, 63-61. Let's go into the box score here. Yo, Chet Holmgren doing his thing out there, man. 4 or 5, 2 for 2 from 3, 10 points. Jalen Williams with 11 points. He's 50% from the field, and 50% from the 3-point line. Yo, Shai Alexander with 15 points there in the first half. Getting busy out there for the Thunder, man. And their bench is doing pretty well for them, man. Everybody on their bench has scored. And Isaiah Joe doing this thing with 6 points off the bench. So is Aaron Wiggins doing with 6 points off the bench for the Thunder, who are down by 2, 61-63. Jaden Daniels, 9 points for the Timberwolves so far. Jaden McDaniels. I said Jaden Daniels. Yo, Nas Reed. I think Nas Reed is an underrated player, man. 2 for 4 from 3 with 16 points. Anthony Edwards putting in 10 points himself, with Jalen Clark coming up with 9 points for him, man. And their bench is doing pretty well as well, with Terrence Shannon with 7 points. Nikhil Walker with 5 points. I thought he'll be doing a little bit more this season, and Luke Garza with 4 points, man. What do you think? Who do you think is going to bring out this game, man, and get ready to get in the start of the third quarter?
I think it's going to be the Thunder, man. I think the Thunder are the best team in the NBA. We talked a little bit about it on Blacktop Podcast, another podcast to tune into. But I definitely think that the Thunder, along with the Cavs, who we want to talk about here in a little bit, are at the top of the and the Timberwolves are still trying to find their way. You know, Randall's been hurt. Edwards has had to share a lot of the load, and going into a playoff stretch, it might be tough for him. And the Thunder are just rolling right now. The best defensive team in the league by far, top in almost every statistical category. They're tough to beat, tough team to beat, and they got one of the best players in the game, possible MVP candidate, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So
yeah,
I think the Thunder take care of business, man. But Timberwolves putting up a battle. They have come back in this game because the Thunder was whooping their butts.
Yeah,
at one point.
Timberwolves are up by 6 now, 69-63. OKC, let's see if they can bring the Thunder and put these Timberwolves away. Shai, speaking of Shai, just made a 10-foot 2-point jump shot, man. I call that man Slink, man. That man be out there balling. But we're gonna get to some of the final games that happened today. The Celtics whooping up on the Knicks, 118 to 105. Man, hey, look. You go to the box score, man. Are the Knicks a team that can't compete with the top teams in the NBA? They seem to lose a lot of those games when they have to play the top teams in the NBA. Just getting into some of the numbers, man. Hey, Karl-Anthony Towns, don't know if he got hurt in tonight's game, but played 41 minutes, got 24 points, followed up by Jalen Brunson at 22, and Josh Hart coming in with the start, man, with 20 points tonight. And their bench, man, they got to get a little bit better from their bench, man. Cameron Payne led the way with 7 points. Landry Shamet, man, 6 points coming off the bench. And Miles McBride with 2 points. Miles Bridges, a mediocre 14 points tonight.
Mikal Bridges.
Mikal Bridges. Miles Bridges is his brother.
Don't do Miles Bridges like that.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges with 14 points. And OG Anunoby won only 10 points today in a losing effort for the Knicks. Hey, that man, Jason Tatum, 25 points, 3 of 10 from the three-point line, leading the Celtics tonight in points with 25 points. Jaylen Brown is road dog with 24 points right behind him. And their starters did pretty good. Everybody in double digits. Derek White finally looks a whole lot better when he cut off his hair and I had a hairline out there. With 19 points. Drew Holiday with 14 points. And Kristaps Porzingis is getting minutes for the Celtics, and that is getting dangerous. He put in 15 points tonight. And their bench doing their thing tonight. Luke Cornett with 8 points. Al Horford with 4. Big Al, man, still in there playing 25 minutes, and Big Al has been in the league forever.
Getting it done.
But getting it done, man. So the Celtics beat the Knicks 118 to 105, man. Well, what do you think about these two teams, man?
I think the Knicks are frauds. They can't beat top teams, man. Celtics, Cavs, Thunder, whoever else you want to put out there. And to be honest, it's what I said about this Knicks team. It's the size that they lack.
As you can see with Porzingis with the block right there.
They do not have it, man. You know, and if it ain't Cat Towns and Josh Hart, where's the rebounding coming from? You know what I'm saying? OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, you know, is basically the same player. And neither one of them, they don't really give you much as far as on the offensive end, and defensive wise, they aren't really getting it done there either. Not tough as far as in the paint and on the block to get you rebounds and interior defense. So I don't know, man. I don't know what you're doing with all these wings. Chicken wing. Ain't gonna get it done in the playoffs.
You call them chicken wings because they ain't ready to get out there in the grind again in the paint with these big dogs out there in the East. Are they chicken wings because they can't go down there and bang with some of the bigger teams like the Boston Celtics, you know, the Cleveland Cavaliers? They're actually a pretty big team with some nice guards put behind them. And they're 37-20 now. We ain't gonna act like they some bums. But it's just something about those bigger teams like the Boston Celtics. This Knicks team was built to win a championship. They're not built to have a good season or we made to the playoffs. No, they have championship aspirations with the trade for Karl-Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges. You know, OG Anunoby was kept. You know, Josh Hart was kept. You know, I don't know, man. They just got to play a little bit better when it comes against these bigger teams, man. You know, actually, they got smoked in the first quarter. It was a 38-19 quarter. Then they came back with a 39-25 quarter in the third quarter, but they couldn't close it, you know, get it closed in the fourth quarter, wound up losing that fourth quarter. But we'll see about this next team, man. I'm not gonna go as far as calling them frauds, but
they fraud.
They're looking a little fraudulent when it comes against teams like the Celtics. But they lose 118-105, Celtics 41-16, looking good. All right, we're gonna get to my Mavericks, one of the dumbest teams I've seen in a long time. You get rid of
Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis, and I think that dude is hurt for the year. The very first game that dude plays, he gets hurt for the year. It's ridiculous, man. And we lose like we supposed to the Warriors, who did add Jimmy Butler. We lose 126 to 102. Just to get into it, like I said, no Anthony Davis, hurt for the season. My Mavericks, PJ Washington and Kyrie Irving both led with 17 points. Klay Thompson won 11 points. Thought that Klay Thompson would be doing a little bit more this season, but it is what it is, man. Hey, Jaden Hardy coming off the bench with 11 points, doing some solid for us, man. But the Warriors, Draymond Green with 13 points, Jimmy Butler with 18, Stephen Curry, you already know what it is, leading the Warriors with 30 points. And we let Moses Moody get 14 and Brandon I can't say his name, Pozipski with 17 points. And Quentin Post coming off the bench, leading the bench with 10 points, with Kevin Looney with 7 points. So, I mean, that trade, I think that's going to hurt this Mavericks fan base, and it just hurt this Mavericks morale a little bit, even though Kyrie Irving has still been balling. He's still in good spirits, which is a good thing. But, you know, when we facing teams like the Warriors and teams in the West like the Oklahoma City Thunder, it's going to be a problem, because now we don't have that star power anymore. And I would say this, if Anthony Davis was healthy, I think it would have been a decent trade for us. But all our big men are hurt. And Anthony Davis comes over and plays one game.
He ain't play a game. No. He played 3 quarters.
Yeah. Like, it's just ridiculous, man. And you give up the future, a 25-year-old superstar. He's not just a 25-year-old good player. He's a 25-year-old all-pro, all-star, finals appearance with the man. And you let him go for Anthony, street clothes Davis. Like,
man, bro.
It's just messed up.
It's rough out there. And I mean, every time I think about Anthony Davis, I just think about this clip. Yeah, it's that bad, bro. It's that bad, man. Like, never mind not being able to stay healthy. Never mind, what you traded for him. The fact is, y'all gave up Luka Doncic. This guy. basically the modern baby LeBron-ish type of dude. I mean, from where he gives you on the court, as far as shooting, passing ability, and rebounds. A 3-way guard in the league. Doesn't play a lot of defense, but hell, who does it today in NBA? But gives you everything offensively, man, and you gave it up for... I'm done.
Yeah, you're done, just like the Mavericks are done. But no
excuse for it.
Yep.
And if you're Golden State, man. I mean, they're back on track, man. I like the Jimmy Butler addition. Seems like it's working out. They're starting to get it back together right now. 30-27. I think they are. Forget where they are in the standings, but they're climbing back there in the playoff hunt, so to speak. So shout out to the Golden State Warriors. on their smart addition at the trade deadline.
Yeah. Enough of that sad note. We're gonna go to the Pacers and the Clippers. Hey, the Pacers, 32-23. One of the top teams in the East so far. I still think they get demolished in the first round of the playoffs by any one of those top teams, but they beat the Clippers 129-111. Hey, Pacers get a rare victory against a good team. You'll start off with the Clippers, who are on the losing end. Derrick Jones Jr. with 6 points, but James Harden leading the way with 31 points with Zubac behind him with 22 points. Amir Coffey with 14 points. And coming off the bench, Ben Simmons with 8 points in a game. And he played 24 minutes. That's another street clothes dude that never plays, but he played 24 minutes tonight. And Bogdanovich gets 11 points off the bench for the Clippers. That dude, Ben Simmons, bro. Oh, Lord. But the Pacers, with their starters, Tyrese Halliburton having a good night tonight with 29 points leading the Pacers, backed up by Aaron Naismith, who's an underrated player. I actually like Naismith as a player with 19 points. Miles Turner, I think he's one of the softer big men in the league, but he got 17 points tonight. And Nembhard and Siakam with 12 points apiece. If Siakam gets back to the Siakam that was in Toronto, I think this team will be, a little bit to be reckoned with. But their bench players with TJ McConnell with 13 points and Obi Toppin, former Knick, coming off the bench with 10 points tonight. Hey, helping out the Pacers get a victory against the Clippers.
Toppin's been better. He's been better with the Pacers. So shout out to Obi Toppin. The Pacers just they don't play defense. One of their weakness, and don't like their big men, as you mentioned, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam. Don't scream toughness. Unless you're going against Cat Towns and the Knicks, but never mind that.
Man.
But we shall see. Maybe it won't be like it was last year. I'm just trolling y'all. But back to the Pacers, man. Toppin has been playing well. And then the Pacers, they'll be in the playoff hunt, man, but they're gonna get smoked. They're gonna get smoked by one of those top teams in the East. They just don't have the toughness or defense to hold up in a 7-game playoff series, in my opinion. And the Clippers, I can't with the Clippers no more. Nah, man, I'm not buying nothing they selling, man. You're not about to scam me again. You know what I'm saying? On selling y'all as legit contenders in the Western Conference, man. Not buying it. Not buying James Harden. Not buying Kawhi Leonard still even play basketball. I don't.
That's a fact.
So whoever they got over there, man, miss me with Ben Simmons, man. I want to punch Ben Simmons in the face, man, and I mean that. And I said that,
a couple of franchises want to punch Ben Simmons
on the podcast, man. Yo, just as a basketball player, like I said, I played basketball, man. You a herd, bro. You a herd, man. You know what I'm saying? And you going over there telling, you want somebody that wanted me. Yeah. Shut up, man. Nobody trying to hear that, man.
Right.
Word up, B.
The question is, did you want basketball?
Nah, you don't. You want to get a paycheck. That's all. And you still can't play 8 points in 25 minutes.
Yeah, but, I just think these teams are like mirror images of each other, man. I think these two teams, they'll both get into the playoffs. I think they'll both get blitzed in the first round. I have no faith in either one of these teams, winning the series against any one of the top teams in the East or the West. I just think that they're regular season teams. They give you some ooh and ahs during the regular season, get in the postseason. It's time to go home, go fishing after that. But I will say these are some of the best Pacers teams that you have seen since the Paul George days. So it is what it is, man. They get the victory over the Clippers, 129-111. I guess the game of the night, the Pistons versus the Hawks. 148 to 143. No defense played whatsoever in this game. And the Pistons come out with a huge victory against the Hawks, 148 to 143 to keep their playoff hopes alive. They're 31 to 26, right there with teams like the Pacers. Tobias Harris with 12 points, but for the Pistons, but they were led tonight by Cade Cunningham, 38 points, 7 to 10 from 3, getting busy out there against ice cold Trey and the Atlanta Hawks, man. And Malik Beasley coming off the bench with 24 points, with Dennis Schroeder with 16. Man, that bench came up huge in this game. Like I said, there was no defense being played, I guess. And the Hawks with 143 points. Trae Young put up 38 points himself, 6 of 15 from 3. Zachary putting up 19 points. On Kongwu with 16 points. Dyson Daniels putting up a nice 24 points for them tonight. It looks like the bench just had their ways tonight. Georges Niang with 27 points coming off the bench for the Hawks. Man, no defense being played in this game. But what you think of these two teams, man?
I think the Pistons are one of the surprise teams in the league, man. Right now, sitting at 31 to 26, they are 6th in the Eastern Conference. Only a game and a half behind Milwaukee for the 5th spot. 2 games behind the aforementioned Indiana Pacers. So Detroit right there in the thick of things in the Eastern Conference, man. And that is surprised for a team a lot of people picked to be one of the bottom feeders in the Eastern Conference. They are on a 6-game winning streak right now. So shout out to the Pistons and the Magic right now, who are on the outside looking in that play-in category right now, sitting there at 7th behind Detroit, who now has a 1-up over them. It's been a struggle for Orlando. It's been a struggle, man. Bancaro, not being there definitely kills them, kills their vibe, as they say. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this team can really hold up, especially in a 7-game playoff series, man. The way they're built right now, they need a few more pieces. They're close. They're very close. I like, shout out to Cole Anthony, Greg Anthony's son, former Tar Heel Cole Anthony, Anthony Black, the Wagner brothers. So they got some pieces over there. I like the team that they're building, but just not quite there, in my unpopular opinion. Maybe it's not unpopular.
And speaking of those Magic, they win 110-90 over the lowly Wizards. They'll need to go through their box score. Both these teams are lowly right now. And the Wizards are 9-47. That's one of the worst records I've seen in a long time in the NBA. They get back to the trust the process 76ers with those records. But they win 110-90. Yo, the Suns. This is one of the most disappointing teams
they whack, man.
I have seen in a long time, bro. They lose to the lowly Raptors, 127-109. How you have a team with Kevin Durant, all these people there? You got a team with Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Mason Plumlee coming off the bench, Tyus Jones coming off the bench, Grayson Allen coming off the bench. Like, what is going on with this team? Booker and Bradley Beal, 30 points apiece. And now Kevin Durant can't play. In 40 minutes with only 15 points. Like, this team, you got Bol on the bench, too.
They lost to the Raptors, bro. The Raptors are trying to tank.
Facts.
The Suns are sitting at 11th in the Western Conference right now. On the outside of the play-in.
Yeah, they're not even in play-in contention.
They're on the outside of the play-in.
Like, this is ridiculous, man. I remember watching this Suns team at the draft, if I'm not mistaken. We were at the draft.
Yeah, we talked about it.
And we were saying, like, bro, I can't stand this team. And this was the year before last year. This year is getting even worse.
It's worse this year.
Like, this.
Guess what? May I for a second?
Go ahead, man.
The Nets traded Kevin Durant, Suns. You know, everybody laughed at the Nets. The Brooklyn Nets right now are 21-35, 11th in the Eastern Conference. The Suns are 27-30, 11th in the Western Conference. Again, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, it is something to be said about Kevin Durant-led teams. I'm just saying. Yeah, I said it. It's the Outside Podcast, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, it is something about Kevin Durant-led team, man. You know, he played on the Nets team with Kyrie Irving and James Harden.
Didn't get nothing done.
Didn't get nothing done. You know what I'm saying? Now you got Devin Booker and
Bradley Beal.
Yeah, Bradley Beal. Can't get nothing done. When they play good, you play bad. When you play good, they play bad. It's like,
and it's not even
ways like to lose.
In the mix.
Yeah, they're not in the
mix. In the mix.
Like, it's crazy how bad it is over there with the Suns, man. I don't see how a team with that trifecta of players are below, not only just below 500, they're not even in play-in contention, man. That is sick
right now.
That is sick. But let's get on to the Heat, who another team that's been disappointing a little bit, but they've been getting back on track is the Bucks. They get a 120-113 win over the Heat. Dame Lillard leading the way for the Bucks. What do you think about this Bucks team going forward? Because we know the Heat are done. They got rid of Jimmy Butler. They're gonna rebuild next year. They are 26-29. Shoot, they just as good as the Suns. Good Lord.
That's what I'm trying to say.
What do you think about the Bucks going forward?
I think they cook food too. There's something about Doc Rivers, man.
Yeah, that's another dude I can't stand.
Something about the way he coached and his vibe, and I don't know, man, but they not meshing over there. They're not meshing together in Milwaukee. It's one of those strange things, you know. I don't know what's going on with them, but it's not. It has not seemed to work out the way they have expected. So, I mean, right now they're what, 5th in the East, but I don't think they're better than any of the other top teams. You know, whether it's the Knicks, whether it's the Celtics or the Cavs. You know, maybe Indiana, but. So maybe you think their ceiling is second round exit, but I mean they not going nowhere. So then you have to ask questions about Giannis.
Is he going to leave?
Is he going to stay or go? You know, there's a team in Brooklyn that would like his services.
You ain't lying.
So
you are not lying.
That's on the rise, you know what I'm saying? Actually, if you, I don't know how much people paying attention, but like I said,
yeah, there is a team in Brooklyn that he will look very nice with. Nice young core, a lot of draft picks, and him, yeah, talking business now.
Picks over the next 5 years. First round. That's just first round.
to another stinker here tonight. The Pelicans versus the Spurs. The Pelicans beat the Spurs 114-96. The Spurs are going to be on a downward spiral. I think Victor Wembanyama is injured. Yeah, he'll be injured. He'll be gone for a little while, maybe the rest of the season. And that would be the Spurs season. So, and the Pelicans, man, Zion Williamson, well, you don't know, that's another dude that never plays. But it is what it is, man. But two teams that are on the rise, one in the West, one in the East. Last game of the night, we're going to talk about the Grizzlies versus the Cavaliers. And that Cavaliers team, like you said, are 47-10 over there in the East, man, competing.
All games.
I think they're first over there in the East, one game ahead of the Celtics, I do believe.
They are 6 games ahead of the Celtics.
Yeah, 6 games ahead of the Celtics because they're 41-16. Not bad.
Yeah,
they were 46 and 11. But they beat a very young Grizzlies team with John Morant, Jared Allen. That Cavaliers team, man. Talk about that Cavaliers team, bro. This is a team you've been talking about for pretty much the year, man. And they're looking kind of scary, man.
Yeah, I mean, they're scary, man, because they have the size and the depth to take on, any team, in the league. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you just thinking about the Cavs with Mobley, with Jared Allen, and then you got a backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and now Darius Garland, who has elevated his game this year. I mean, Kenny Atkinson, again, coaching. Bring it back, coaching. Kenny Atkinson, we seen what he did with Brooklyn. Now going over to the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are working with some of Brooklyn's players. I mean, it's just remarkable, man. When the big man works, the team is good, man. They got Twin Towers over there. I like the way these dudes play together, man. Those two Twin Towers, not like a Duncan and Robinson, but they vibe-ish like that. You know what I'm saying? And it could carry the Cavs to a championship now. Wouldn't that be something if the Cleveland Cavaliers won the championship, and LeBron James could not get another one? You know what I'm saying? It's just weird how things turn around. It's just weird how things turn around. Cleveland was so down because this guy left, and now they got the best team in the league. I'm a big fan of Cleveland. I like the city of Cleveland too. Did a lot of work out there, man. Some cool people out there. Big sports town. I love sports towns. But this team, they beat the second best team in the Western Conference, Pat. The Memphis Grizzlies ain't no joke. They took care of them. You know what I'm saying? And it was a physical game. You see Zach Edey in there, and they got physical. So they know how to bang, bro. They know how to bang. This is a tough team. They know how to bang. They ain't no punks. I like basketball teams that can bang down there in the post. So, and they got the shooters on the outside, and they got a closer in Donovan Mitchell, man. That's going to be very important in the playoffs. So, as long as they stay healthy, I think they in there, man. I think they can beat Boston too.
Yep, I think they can too. And I think those Twin Towers down there are going to give Boston some issues with Mobley and Jared Allen.
Well, they got Garland down there like they
you won't no part of Jared Allen down there.
It's not a neither Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. It's not about that life. I'm telling you, boy, Cleveland cooking with them two big men like that. And teams going to start copying that. Watch what I tell you. We're going to do our little, I'm going to tease it, but we're going to do our little segment on that, man.
Yeah,
stay tuned.
Just to give you an update on the last game of the night, looks like NYG is right so far. The Thunder have came back, took a 103-96 lead over the Timberwolves going into the fourth quarter. We'll see who wins that game by the end of the night. Man, hey, listen, this has been the NBA rundown on the Outside Podcast, man. Hey, we'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors, man. Let's get it.
the Raisin Man.
Or just the Giants organization that really put Daniel Jones in the forefront and carried him in that type of light, man, on national TV.
$223. The suspension also opens the door for the Texans to release Al-Shahir.
Then in 1976, guess who was hired? At T-Spans. This is where preference plays the biggest.
I'm gonna have to knock this down and get the oohs and ahs of Houston.
Welcome to the Aboriginal Sports Network.
So to be honest with you, we got a couple of sacks because of hustle. And
a lot of different reasons in the past, or if he's still that quarterback that the Browns thought they were getting when they decided to pull.
Shadowing that offensive lineman and waiting for Jaden Daniels to do something.
Welcome to the NFL All 32.
Racing K, the Raisin Man.
Welcome to New York Giants Films.
What you gotta say to the camera?
Yes, sir.
Going as all you want to. We built for this shit. We don't fold, motherfuckers. We don't fucking fold.
Son, I gotta do better than this.
Ricey K, the Raisin Man.
Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. God.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike you can see, that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, North don't get broken. Legalize mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in the show called The Man Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85-inch screen. The game's on, you rush and bleed. Stay calm, you on the road and chill. Do the watch along. The show's on, the host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling the panel filled with guest stars. You now rocking with the voice, you know what it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean, we about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.God. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.
Yo, that was a little bit from the Aboriginal Sports Network, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yo, we're going to get into a couple of little sports topics here before we get out of here, man. One, I think this one was very interesting right here, man. These are saying the best Big Four athletes by each decade, and they go back to the 60s. So, don't know if you guys can see it here. Let me control plus it a little bit.
Okay.
In the 1960s, you got my man Willie Hayes doing his thing in baseball at that time. I definitely agree with that. Johnny Unitas, definitely agree with that. He was everything in football during those times. Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain was everything in basketball during those times. Although you could have put Bill Russell He couldn't beat Bill Russell in the big game, but Wilt still was the most popular. He was a Laker at that time. And Wilt, he put up 100 points in the game. That dude was an absolute monster of an athlete, bro. And Bobby Hull, another great. He was definitely doing his thing at that time. If you don't know about Bobby Hull, you better go look him up. In the 70s, a Mets player, Tom Seaver, do remember him. Do remember him doing this thing over there with the Mets. He was a beast. Alan Page of the Purple People Eaters was definitely doing his thing over there with the Minnesota Vikings. They were making it to those championships and couldn't win. They were like the Bills of the 70s. They would make it to the Super Bowl and never could win for some odd reason. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, another Laker in basketball, doing his thing. Definitely can agree with that. He was with the Bucks and then he went to the Lakers, I do believe, in the 80s. So he was with the Bucks at this time. And he was doing his thing. He got the Bucks a championship. The only one that won a championship for the Bucks until the Greek Freak and them did it about 4 or 5 years ago. So yes, I do agree with that. And Phil Esposito doing this thing over there in hockey, man. Definitely was the man during that time. Before this next guy that come up in the 80s, Ricky Henderson.
Nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah, man.
With the athletic A's at that time, man. He's definitely nasty. We got a giant in the building, Lawrence Taylor. You know what he did in the 80s. One of the faces of the football in the 80s, one of the top 3 players of all time in a lot of people's mind. He was definitely doing his thing. This was easy in the 80s for basketball. It's magic time. Showtime.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson was doing his thing, man. Now you can say about Magic Johnson in the 80s, man. I think he won the championship in his rookie year. Him and Celtics were going back at it for a lot of years. And it was between him and Larry Bird, but Magic Johnson had the 5 championships. I think Larry Bird only got 3 during that time because the Pistons took them down twice to stop them from getting more championships, man. So, yeah, in the 80s, it was definitely Magic Johnson. Wayne Gretzky, enough said. Enough said, man. Wayne Gretzky was the man in hockey during that time. He was up there with Michael Jordan as far as fame at one point in time.
Absolutely.
That's
why I feel like Gretzky, I don't know, maybe you could put him in the 90s.
Yeah,
this is why I'm gonna start speaking on it because I could really only go from the 80s up as far as this tree is concerned, as far as what I've witnessed. We go on perception and things when we talking about the 60s and 70s, but I grew up in the 80s, born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, but yeah, I could argue Gretzky 80s, 90-ish. You could kind of put him in kind of both eras, as you could Michael Jordan in a sense, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, definitely that's a good case. You can definitely put Gretzky in the 90s, but in the 90s in baseball, they put Barry Bonds in the 90s in baseball. Not gonna say Sammy Sosa or Mark McGwire or even Derek Jeter. Put Barry Bonds in the 90s.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the right era for him.
No, I don't think it is.
Again,
I mean, King Griffey Jr.
I think he was Barry Bonds because in the 90s was like pre-steroid era. So if you want to talk about the way they, perceive him, perceive him in the better light when he was playing in the 90s as opposed
with
to
the Pirates.
Where he, fat face Barry Bonds in the 2000s when he was hitting all them home runs. So, I mean, he's one of those athletes too you could kind of cross eras with. But yeah, I think there's better fits for the 90s. I'm with you though. Jeter,
Jeter,
Alex Rodriguez,
fucking
Sosa, McGuire. They was hitting a bunch of home runs.
I mean, Ken Griffey during the early 90s
Ken Griffey
too.
Jr. I'd probably put Ken Griffey there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you got Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Johnson, the big unit, the pitcher during that time. I don't know. During the 90s, they got Reggie White. Ooh. You ain't gonna put Prime Time. You ain't gonna put Barry Sanders. Ooh, that's tough.
Reggie White was nasty, though.
Reggie White was nasty, but Brett Favre.
I don't know if he was the best. So is this? What is this? Athletes or players? Or like, what are they? What is the category again?
It's the 4 best Big 4 athletes by the decade.
Big 4. Oh yeah. I don't know. It's definitely not Reggie White. I don't think.
Man, you had Deion Sanders. You had Jerry Rice. You had Brett Favre.
It's got to be Jerry Rice. Any list that don't have Jerry Rice on it, I'm sorry, I can't.
I mean, Jerry Rice could have been in the 80s, to be honest. Joe Montana in the 80s.
Jerry Rice, I would not take Lawrence Taylor off the 80s. I'm sorry. I might be biased, but he is the greatest defensive player of all time. So I would split hairs and just put Jerry Rice in the 90s. The 49ers were still doing their thing. Jerry Rice played up until the 2000s, didn't he?
Yeah. He made a Super Bowl in the 2000s with the Raiders.
Yeah, so I'm cool giving him the 90s. I'm sorry, Reggie. I can't with this one.
Yeah, man. I gotta give it the prime.
Give it the prime too.
Is it gotta be him or Brett Favre? Brett Favre had 3 MVPs. That back-to-back seasons, won a Super Bowl. Prime time, he won 2 Super Bowl with Dallas and a Super Bowl with the 49ers. I don't know, man. It's definitely not Reggie. And you know the 90s, Michael Jordan was everything in the 90s. That's a given. Then you got Ray Bork in the 90s for hockey.
Don't understand that either. You had Mark Messier. You had Patrick Roy.
Patrick Roy.
Yeah. I don't know about that one.
Mm-mm. And then the 2000s, they got A-Rod in the 2000s. You got Peyton Manning in the 2000s. You could really put Brady in the 2000s as the man. Yeah.
I guess you could go with Peyton Manning. But I think they're off of era with some of these athletes too. I can't with Dirk Nowitzki. I'm sorry.
Dirk. That's got to be Kobe.
This is where I gotta stop the music right here. No. You mean to tell me out of Kobe, Shaq, Tim Duncan, you couldn't pick one of them?
Kevin Garnett. Well, I put him above Kevin Garnett, but you had Shaq, you had Kobe, you had Tim Duncan.
Just them 3. If you want to split hairs but those clearly are better picks and better players than Dirk Nowitzki could or would ever be. With no disrespect to Dirk, excellent Hall of Fame player.
I love one of my favorite players to watch, but he won better.
No, bro, you don't do that. Big athletes, even in popularity, man. Like, where do you get this from? What is the I'm sorry. What's the reasoning here? Like, somebody who made this list got to explain this. I'm sorry, man. I lost it with that one, bro.
Yeah, that one was crazy to me.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that one was crazy. As much as I love Dirk, that is no way. That should be at the very least Kobe. You can put Tim Duncan, you can put Shaq. Hell, I might put D Wade over Dirk Nowitzki during that time. Yeah, and then the hockey they had Nicholas Lindstrom. In the 2010s, Mike Trout. That one's tough too. Because man, Pujols was doing his thing before then.
Yeah, I think Pujols was more 2000s, late 2000s. Trout was okay. I think he lost luster towards the end of the decade, so I don't know. Not a big mouth Trout guy.
Yeah, these two I definitely agree with. Tom Brady and LeBron James in the 2010s. That's a fact. Yeah, 2010. Alex Ovechkin, I could actually agree with that too. Those three I could actually agree with. Mike Trout, the 2020s, Ohtani, Patrick Mahomes, Jokic.
It must have been a European that made this. No, let me stop. Jokic and Dirk. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Jokic and Dirk.
I don't know about that one either, man. Over Steph Curry.
Don't call me biased, bro. Yeah.
I guess because he got the ring. I don't know.
Steph Curry got rings.
Well, 2020s. I think he got one ring since the 2020s. Jokic got one ring since the 2020s.
Those stages going by like MVPs and shit like that.
Yeah, but I mean, he did. He does have 2 MVPs.
He got multiple MVPs, so
that's the truth.
He's not. I don't know.
He don't move the needle like a Steph Curry does, though, man. I don't. Golly, that's tough, man. That one, Dirk Nowitzki. That's egregious right there. I love Dirk, but that's egregious. Reggie White in the 1990s and Barry Bonds in the 1990s. No.
Dang, man. That's just tough, man. That's tough too. Cause I mean, there was a lot of good. I mean, I'm saying Jerry Rice, man. I don't know how you do not have Jerry Rice.
Nowhere is on the list.
Played 3 decades. You can put him in 3 different decades, bro. Like
84 to 90. Hey, yo. Okay. Hey, it is what it is, man. I guess.
That shit whack.
That list here.
Whack. That shit is trash.
Yeah, a couple of these, man, are trash, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. And a lot of the hockey ones are trash. Connor McDavid in hockey in 2020.
Kick rocks, man.
Yeah.
Roy Burke, they kick rocks, man. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, that yeah. I don't get that one, man. But hey, it is what it is, man. We'll go to a quick commercial break, man, because that threw me for a loop.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Jerry Rice didn't make the list at all.
They got Dirk Nowitzki, man. Yeah,
that is tough.
Come on, man.
We'll be back after commercial break, man. This right here is crazy.
Welcome to New York Giants Full Access with Big Pat Sports Talk, where you get the latest and realest Giants news and content. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Want to talk your talk with Big Pat Sports Talk and become an official Big Blue Crew member? Hit the join button in the description. Wanna look fly? Is some Big Pat Sports Talk merch? Head over to the Big Pat Sports Shop and grab you some gear. The link is in the description.
New York Giants, full access, all Giants, all the time.
All right, man. We're going to get to another subject, but man, it's probably one of the last subjects on the night here for the Outside Podcast. Thank you for the consistent 70 in the chat tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all hit that like button and that follow button for us there on Twitter. Most of you guys there on Twitter watching us. And speaking of Twitter, I'm putting something about this on the Patreon, man. Y'all go and subscribe to the Patreon, man.
Definitely.
Because
right now.
We're going to be putting a lot of heat on the Patreon, man. And we're going to be talking about things that, they want to allow us to say here on YouTube. And we're going to be giving you some real sports takes there on the Patreon, man, for all our supporters. Go to the Patreon and subscribe to the Patreon, man, for real. Because some stuff has to be said. I'm be real with you. Because this here is getting a little bit ridiculous. Coming from the NFL Rookie Watch here on Twitter, the report is Shedeur Sanders is reportedly not the type of QB the majority of the NFL teams are looking for right now, according to Mel Kiper Jr., ESPN Draft Analysis. One NFL scout who keeps his name unknown reportedly believes Sanders' true value lies somewhere between picks 15 and 30 in the first round, even though majority of the NFL is saying that he's not a quarterback that they would like, but he still will go 15 and 30 if in the first round, between 15 and 30. First round QB, but none of the teams in the NFL don't like. If his name was Shedeur Williams, we will be having a totally different conversation. Anonymous NFC executive. Scouts are currently divided on Sanders, with some giving him high-end comps to Tom Brady, while some believe he's a larger frame Teddy Bridgewater at his ceiling. Not to mention, some NFL teams are having concerns centered around Sanders' priorities and character.
There it is. There it is right there.
The Colorado QB is disputed. So, right here on the Outside Podcast, there will be a Patreon video centered around this subject here. I'm just going to read what people are saying on this post about it. But there will be a Patreon, and you're going to want to tune into this because we're going to give you the real on this situation. I'm tired of it. I'm going to give you the absolute real. Crazy word. But shout out to Duke of Milan. He says, I stopped reading that Mel Kiper. That's a fact. P. Munoz, he says, funny how there's never any detail on what the character issues are. Correct. Mm-hmm. Other than people talk about him flashing his watch or being a confident guy, Shedeur hasn't been in trouble. Literally no real reason for the hate.
Thank you.
Bill Wilson, conservative, God-fearing American. Yeah, he got a long name. He said, I don't think he is a bad player, but not throwing at the combine tells me someone already promised to draft him early in the class. My guess is the top 6 picks.
We know who.
Fact. The Browns are going to make the mistake of drafting this dude second overall. Dynasty Cleveland. Elwood 2023. He's awful. Guaranteed bust.
No context, though.
Yeah. Zenny Abraham says that would be Drake May. He says Williams was atrocious. Trey says you're saying this off emotion. Not hard to find the MAGA MFers. F out of here. He said this is accurate, but Dion is a master marketer. Okay. And that's why he'll fall. Crazy how I've been saying this for months. Vamos. Empacados vamos. He did this with the cornerback as his number 1 receiver and no offensive line, by the way. Laugh out loud. The hate he gets is disgusting. 4,134 yards, 37 TDs, 10 interceptions with a 75.5 QBR. He's 6'2", 215 pounds, which I believe he's closer to 220, 225 now. Those stats right there puts other quarterbacks at generational status. But we'll keep going. Nothing but facts spoken. Late second round at best. He said, I wrote about this last month, was called a hater amongst other things. Apparently, the executive types and I are playing chess. Haters play checkers. So this is what he wrote. He said, I can assure you, this is not a suggestion that I want Aiden to start next year, but I can say there are a lot of things I like about him more than Sanders/Ward. I will listen to Aiden's podcast the other day where he was out shopping at the Nike outlet in New York and watch him show off his $200,000 watch while he got into his Ferrari. Wait, sorry, wrong guy. Aiden doesn't have a podcast or a Ferrari, but he does have a work ethic, study football, workman-like approach to the game. What's there not to like about Aiden? I know he can't run like the wind, and he takes a few too many sacks and ints, but so did Manning in the beginning. Point I'm trying to make is this: trading Aiden for Sanders may not be the best answer, but maybe it lies somewhere in between. He also beat the Chiefs last year and almost this year. Has anyone watched anything other than highlight reels on Sanders/Ward? Have you watched Beck, Ewers, Gabriel, Milroe, Ward, Dart? Most of you haven't, and it shows. Go do yourself a favor and give them a look and make a decision on what you see and not what other guy says or what your favorite podcaster says. Just because he was a lineman in high school. With the right coach and OC, we might be able to find the next TB12 or at worst, Knicks. So,
clown. Sorry. Clown.
Okay. Another guy agreed. They said the same stuff about Lamar Jackson, and now look at him. But his name is not Shadur Williams, and there is value in him being the son of an all-time great and being coached all his life by him. Burrow is not a runner who was thought of as a mid-round pick before his phenomenal senior season. Shadur will be in that mode. Way to go, Mr. Laidlow. The hate for Shadur is literally so forced. He makes boneheaded mistakes sometimes, but watching his film, you can't tell me he's a bad QB. Only played behind a horrible offensive line while having the only weapon being Travis Hunter. He'll be just fine. It's truly amazing the smoke behind this kid. That would normally be a day 2 pick. Cam is only QB worth top 8 pick. Oh man, racism is going into overdrive right now. It's burning their skin that Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers didn't pan out the way they thought they would. Oh man. And that's just a little bit, man. There's so much more on that, but
these people are ridiculous, man. I mean, you know, they mad because he got a watch, a car. So we not supposed to have nothing. You supposed to come from dirt poor, free lunch, riding a school bus, walking to work, having nothing, and just have this miraculous story. We made it, we came, and we overcome. And they can play that shit on ESPN as documentaries and shit and make millions off of you because you got a terrible story. But if a man actually came from something worth something and actually has some confidence about that and about himself, no, that's the reason you guys give for calling and through all these comments. That's all we keep saying. You either have no context in your reasoning, he's just a bum, or you go on, he's showing off his watch and his car, and you just mad because you ain't got one. Stop hating. Stop counting pockets.
Mm-hmm. But the pockets only matter when it's a certain type quarterback.
There you go.
It's his fault that his daddy was in his life. It's his fault that his daddy is Deion Sanders.
Nah, we not supposed to have fathers and mothers and nothing. It's supposed to come from nothing, like I said. But I'm gonna say that. Nah, because I'm telling y'all can give me hype with this Sanders. Y'all keep on.
And then
it ain't did nothing to nobody, man. Straight up. And if he had a pinch of a real character concern, I guarantee you he'd be, like they said, 3rd, 4th round. But since you can't really find anything other than him, if he buys a watch, what we supposed to do? Supposed to tuck his chain in when you see reporters coming? Oh shit. Here it comes. Go ahead.
Then you, not only do you say he has character concerns, he has concerns about work ethic. A kid that's been working with the GOAT, Tom Brady, his whole life, has work ethic issues. Yeah, that's why we've created the Aboriginal Sports Network. For times like these. If you want to support a real network that gives you real sports stories, not fabricated stories because you want a certain person not to get the stuff that he deserves. If you just want real content, real sports content, you come here to the Aboriginal Sports Network. And you want the uncut content, the exclusive content, you go right to the Patreon. Because we finna let people have it over there on the Patreon. I'm sorry, I'm tired of it. All your Mel Kippers, all those people, you want real film reviews, unbiased film reviews, go check out the Patreon. We got Scatterboo on the Patreon right now. Scatterboo. We'll have a Shador Sanders film review on the Patreon. You get a non-biased film review. Cam Ward, a non-biased film review. Hell, Jackson Dart, a non-biased film review.
Yeah. We're gonna do Dart, Milrow, all the ones they saying, oh, you need to do your film or you need to check them out. Oh, we got the film on all them cats. All of them. So come on over here. We got y'all.
We was actually at the Senior Bowl doing the work, getting the content out there, getting to know some of these players. We went from quarterbacks to punters. Got the interviews right here on the Aboriginal Sports Network to show you that we've been doing the work. We're going to continue to do the work because obviously the work needs to be done. Because that's ridiculous. And that was by a so-called scout.
Yeah, so-called, like you said.
Like, you watched that film and that's what you've come up with? You've done your research about Shedeur Sanders and that's what you come up with? Okay. Yeah, like, okay.
Yeah, that's what you say. Okay.
His name was Shedeur Williams. What are you talking about? The dude's stats match up with all the people that you said that were generational coming out. His stats are better than all the dudes that you say are better than him. His stats are better on a way worse team. Like, you can't go that route.
You can't say he played against poor competition because he was playing against, what was it, the Big 12?
Same teams Caleb Williams was playing against. Same teams. Better than the teams Drake May was playing against. And he put up better stats than Drake May. With less around him than Drake May in college. So I don't we'll save it for the Patreon, man. We're gonna give you the solid truth on the whole Shedeur Sanders saga. We're gonna give you everything that they're doing. Because this dude talking about people playing chess, and the people that like Shedeur Sanders are playing checkers. No, you're the checker playing, and Shedeur Sanders is the chess player, and that's why you're mad. But, it's been a great show tonight. We didn't plan on going on super long tonight with the Outside Podcast. The Outside
Podcast. Right here on the Aboriginal Sports Network, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm telling you, check out that Patreon, man. I'm telling you, NYG22 gonna turn into very, very unpopular opinion sports because this is what y'all want. Y'all want, the real spill on real topics, stuff that they censor on YouTube that you can't really put out there. You want real opinions, unpopular as they may be. You want opinions and topics that you can't get on the outside. You can only get right here on the Aboriginal Sports Network. So, I'm telling you, man, check out the Patreon. And I don't know, man. This has been a dope show. Look, definitely, man, when it comes to Shedeur Sanders and some of the things that we've been talking about, you're going to want to hear that because this is going to get real big. I'm telling you, they're going to keep talking. There's going to be a lot of talk, a lot of noise leading up, and we got the scoop. We got the scoop right here. So that's it, man. That's it. We gotta tell them like it is. But we just can't do it here, man. They keep taking down the videos and trying to shut us up, shut us down. And you got people out there, lurking in the shadows, sneak dissing and stuff. So like we gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta do what we gotta do, y'all. I'm sorry, man. But so check out the Patreon though. No holds barred, promise you, man, and exclusive content. Those interviews, you definitely want to check those out, get to know some of these players. Because we definitely brought out some of their personalities in these interviews, and these film reviews. So you're gonna get a lot of information on the Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Exclusive interviews too with some high profile people. So check those out. Can't wait for those. And the articles. That's right. The articles. We've been busy writing, man. Writing and giving you video content. So that's what media networks do. They don't just talk.
Yeah. Shedeur Sanders.
Gotta do.
The uncut truth. Coming out on Patreon.
It's gonna be something else, man, because man, they keep They keep attacking Shedeur Sanders, man. I'm telling you, especially if he become a Giant, I'm getting Daniel Jones vibes, man. As far as the hate is concerned, I'm just speaking on the hate level. Shedeur Sanders is going to ball out. He's going to knock it out the park. I think he's Joe Burrow light or maybe heavy. You know what I'm saying? He might be better. So who knows? But I think he is of that mold of a quarterback, cerebral. That's just a football player that just knows the game. So, but as far as the hate's concerned, especially here, it's already happening. We about to go through it again, man. I'm already put my line in the sand. Which side I'm on? Let's go.
Shedeur Sanders, Uncut Truth. Be on the Patreon very soon.
Mm-hmm.
So be on the lookout for that. $3 a month where you can get uncut truth about sports, uncut truth about the Giants, uncut truth about the NFL, the NBA, the MLB. Might even throw some NASCAR and hockey in there.
Yep.
$3 a month.
Yep.
That's
Can't
all.
get bottled water for $3 no more.
That's a
Word.
fact. So come support your brothers, man. Thank you for everybody that's viewing here on Twitter. Hit that follow button for us there on Twitter. Go check out some of those articles that we've done, and go check out the Aboriginal Sports Network official website. The link is in the chat, pinned in the comments. Go check it out and support your brothers, man, that are trying to give you guys an actual sports network with hard truths, real content, nothing fabricated, real opinions, and real interaction. You actually get to interact with us, especially if you go to the Patreon. $3 a month, people. But other than that, man, thank you guys for watching the show. Appreciate you guys. This is Big Pat Sports Talk and Unpopular Opinion Sports on the Outside
Podcast.
And we out. Peace.
Peace.
I'ma break it down real quick, yo. Hey, yo, look, dog, I bought villas, stayed in resort Skrilla. I was store killer, I store killers. Man, I caught killers, just on 4 killers. Cat frontin', 4 killers. Who more realer? Weed in the 4-wheeler. F Mike, till you see me, never saw Thriller. Fist scale, 4 reelers. Dirty whore want me to go. Raw will ya? Small Pisces, fresh from the archdiocese. You got heart fighty, I did need the part wifey. I'm Anthony, I do things the harder way. Pardon me, escalate, marmalade, mama stayed. And I send the wolf stars a plate. And the dude copper car today, color Chardonnay. And I clap at your man, got the clappers. Clap at his hands. Only thing he ever clapped was his hands. He'll get butt raped, duct tape, the Michelin man. That's it, get in this van, listen to Ken Maggot. Get in this van, listen to Ken Maggot. Listen, let's bring it back. You know why? Cause this is the man with that shit in the fan. Business my fam, listen to man, listen. I miss the era of the BMVPs. I was ducking GMDC. Had that scope, aim in the light ship. Seen all hours, came as the right content.
Thanks for watching the Outside Podcast. Tune in weekdays at 10 p.m. Eastern. Like and subscribe.
Pray to Elijah. Don't play okay, just pray out a sniper. Cause with the SK, doggy, I'm okay. My AK was my AKA before my ABCs. I had A-OK. I'll show you how to make $2 million out your deal. For the right price, I can get you out your deal. Smack the CEO, that's when they tell you soon. 4 mil from Def Jam and I ain't selling record for him.